Hey guys, PixWeirRoadRoo.com. It's your morning horn of Z's, your sip of coffee that I need so badly. I was up to the wee hours of the morning picking grapes. I wasn't picking, I was supervising. You guys hear me okay? I am from a very remote location in the sticks. I don't know where I am. I'm in Cloverdale, California, which is, where is it? It's up north, Northern California. And I want to talk just briefly. I woke up to the news that Draghi had drop rates again, and the European Central Bank is going crazy with free money. Everybody's going crazy with free money, but that's just the stuff they talk about. That's the amazing thing. It's only the stuff that they talk about. Um, so, good morning, everyone. Godspeed. Good morning, Michael Brio. Good morning. That was my French. Brio. Let's see. Look at all these cool people in here. Why are you guys up so early in the morning? I gotta get some air in my car. Was up picking grapes with my father. We had a great time, as much as you can have a great time at like 1 in the morning. But the harvest was great. The first part of it. They're not picking tomorrow night because it's projected to be warmer weather. You want colder weather with the Pinots and all that stuff. For the bricks, which is how you measure the sweetness in the grape. I am not the family expert on wine. I'm more of an expert on drinking it. No, I'm not an expert on drinking it. I consume the family product, but my dad knows everything. There's like 30 people out there picking. It got me thinking about, just to jump subjects, that new minimum wage that Elizabeth Warren wants to institute. Now these people are out there picking. They are basically said, okay, here's the amount of grapes we got to pick, and here's how much money you're going to make. Get it done as fast as you can, and you're out. You've never seen people work so fast. Their hourly wage blows away anything that Elizabeth Warren would throw out there. But here's the thing: it's an underground economy and grape picking. As far as I know, I don't know. It's contracted. My dad contracts through some other guy who contracts through some other guy, and I don't know how that all works in California for the migrant workers. But I do know how it works for people trying to get their first job, people looking for a summer job, people who own and work in restaurants. You think, oh, $15. Elizabeth Warren proposes $15 an hour as a new minimum wage. What would that do? $15 an hour. You think, oh, that's great for people. It's a living wage. What about people? What about restaurant workers who make tips? How many restaurants can actually survive with a minimum wage of $15 per hour? I would say half the restaurants in the United States would shut down if that was required. Half. The little mom and pop stores, they can barely get along now. Anybody in the restaurant business knows you're either extremely successful, you still hate it, or you're struggling. You're struggling to make ends meet. Every penny counts. Just look at all these shows on TV, Restaurant Impossible and all that stuff. It is not an easy business to run. And having the government say to you, hey, you have to give all your employees more money. You have to increase your expenses by 20, 30%. I mean, that's their profit margin, a lot of these places. And poof, if that gets instituted in America, good night, mom and pop restaurants, the small stores. Maybe that's what they're going for. Maybe they're trying to drive all the retail stores out and have everything online. I don't know. But definitely, kid internships, forget about it. Starting out jobs, no. Restaurants like McDonald's will go completely automated. It is insane. It is insane. Socialism does not work. How many times do we have to tell them or show them? Socialism does not work. It has failed more times than any other form of government. And there's a reason it fails. It does not work. Do you really trust the means of production to your government? That's what socialism is. Government owns the means of production. Do you really think that Bernie Sanders can create more better products and do more business than Donald Trump? Do you really think that Elizabeth Warren is a better business person than Donald Trump? It ain't gonna happen. But in reality, that's how it is. In socialism, the government owns the means of production, and everybody loses in the end. Yeah, it might sound great for a couple. Socialism is great until you run out of other people's money, and that has been proven time and time again. Do not let your country be dragged down that path. Look, people like AOC. Why are they even in America? I have no idea. They don't like America. They hate America. Jihad, jihad. It is ridiculous. What worked, Thai S? What worked quite well? If you say like Sweden or Norway, no, they aren't working well, and they're not socialistic. By the way, the whole Sweden and Norway argument, they're more capitalist. I think they were 14th on the list of most capitalist leaning countries. Um, Capitalism isn't in well, capitalism is not in any form right now. We don't have capitalism in the United States. I don't know why people keep thinking we do. Capitalism would work fine, I believe, but it's never been tried. We have a centralized money system, and that is has got nothing to do with capitalism. And then we got crony, they call it crony capitalism, and then they got in capitalist society in 2008, all the banks would have shut down, 100%. You don't bail out the banks in a capitalist society. You let the failures happen so that you get rid of the shit and you move forward. But because our capitalism had been so manipulated by central bank money printing, money control, that's completely centralized controlled system. It's got nothing to do with capitalism. Because it's been controlled for so long, we've got ourselves into a situation where we have to keep it going or everything crashes and shuts down. Yeah, we have crony market rigging. Well, it's not capitalism. It's not capitalism. It's phony market rigging, correct. It's centralized control of our money system. We have a couple people stealing everybody's money. So, Sarah Westall supposedly had a video. She's had a few videos. She's not a crypto person. She gets scared at the drop of a hat when it comes to cryptos. Watch the interview with Sarah and Cliff High. No, nothing's going to come in and take the place of cryptos. And no, the big bad government does not control it. They were involved in making it, absolutely. I do believe that is true, but it was the good guys in our government. And I've showed there are good guys at the Federal Reserve. I believe Alan Greenspan had a huge hand in creating Bitcoin. But the idea is not to control it. The idea is to give it to the people, ultimately. And the centralization in China and the CIA is developing these new tools that can control everything. It's dreaming dragons, my friends. It's not in Cliff's data. Cliff's data goes out and says cryptos are around for 80, 90 years. So you can either get on board and stop being afraid of the FUD or not. That's up to you. Believe who you want. I believe that cryptocurrencies will be around for the next 100 years. As long as we need money, it is our last form of money. Thank you, Ty. You man. Yeah, I think cryptocurrencies are our last form of money. Now, the only thing we have to worry about in cryptocurrencies is replicators, and they're coming. There's no doubt they're coming. It's an evolution of 3D printing. But if you have a replicator, like the Star Trek type of thing, where they from energy they create atoms, they create molecules, they create uh, material, they put it together in a form, and voila, you got a cheeseburger. If you have a replicator that can instantly make anything you need as far as food, shelter, water, the basic necessities, you don't really need money. And if you don't need money, the currency part of cryptocurrencies is not really necessary. All the other stuff is still absolutely necessary. So yeah, but that's a long way out. I would say 50 years. Even with technology. I used to say 100 years, but with technology, the speed of technology and the breakthroughs that are happening, 50 years. And if we get all the secret inventions that have been going on with the behind the scenes with DARPA and all that stuff, who knows how fast that can happen. And then if we have alien intervention and they give us some technology like they did with the superconductors and the silicon chips and all that, then it could happen a lot faster. But it is until then, between then and now, that we're going to still need a currency. And I think cryptocurrencies are by far the best option. But that's my take. I am going to listen to the Sarah Westall interview. I have a three-way, four-way discussion with John Kim, Bitcoin Ben, and Jason F4 to talk about the Litecoin Summit and all the things that are going on there. I have like 45 spots left at the Road to Ruta party event all day on the October 27th. If you want to go to that, send me an email, bix@roadtoruta.com. It costs one Litecoin to participate. And then the next 2 days are the Litecoin Summit. And we're going to talk about both those events. And then I highly suggest you go to Litecoin Summit as well. It's going to be awesome. And me and Snippy and Ben and John Kim are planning an event for Monday night at the summit. So, but you got to have a ticket to the summit to go to that. It's not an event. There's a party that night, and we're gonna do a skit or something. Truthfully, I don't even know what we're gonna do. John Kim is planning it out, so we'll talk about that today. And we're not gonna do that live. We're gonna do it on Zoom and record it, and then post it on all our channels, in case you're looking for that. All right, what time are we looking at now? Is it? We got a little bit of time. All right. Is something big coming for Litecoin? I don't know. It's already a means of exchange. It's ready to go. The Lightning Network has to be built out more, but it's not needed. The only thing big for Litecoin is the end of fiat money, and I do think is in the process behind the scenes. I can't wait for the JP Morgan derivatives announcement, because the first quarter they increased their derivatives by $11 trillion to become the largest derivative bank in history. And this is a bank that we bailed out in 2008. So all these derivatives they're throwing on, they're all on our shoulders. So there ain't going to be no bailout, my friends. There is not going to be a bailout. And I think JP Morgan is being primed to be that bad guy that Deutsche Bank. I think it might be a transfer of derivative liability from Deutsche Bank to JP Morgan, and Citibank also went up, not as much as Deutsche Bank, but it will be very interesting. So yeah, everything's going along behind the scenes. I don't know if anything happened yesterday as far as 9/11 in the banking system. In 2008, that's when the 550 billion was pulled out, and we didn't know about it for a couple weeks later. So whether or not it was yesterday or the next day, we're back to 1% chance today, and 1% chance tomorrow, and 1% chance the day after that. So just hang on, and don't forget your silver. The only problem with silver, yes, definitely you should have some silver. The only problem with silver is the mobility factor. If this mini ice age is coming, you're going to be hauling around a lot of silver. But if it goes 1-to-1 with gold, you won't have to carry all that much silver to be just fine for the rest of your life. So definitely, if you haven't, you crypto guys, you guys especially, a lot of you will never get there with silver because you didn't grow up with the understanding of money beforehand, how the need for a gold and silver standard was so necessary. Before cryptos, you can see how cryptos are really necessary now. Before cryptos, it was just gold and silver. That's all we had. And it was the same, zealotry. Is that a word? Zealotry? Passion went into gold and silver as money. The fight at the crypto passion is great. It was just as big in gold and silver for decades, if not 100 years. So there probably won't be a shift from the crypto people back to the gold and silver. The crypto people will never really understand why gold and silver. The new crypto people, the people who got into gold and silver and made the move to crypto, get it. They get both sides of the story. But it's not going to go back. I'm sorry. It was the banksters that took that understanding away from humanity back in 71 when we went off the gold standard. or in the 60s when we went off the silver coinage. They have bred an understanding out of our minds that the world needs gold and silver, so that it's never going back to a form of money. Gold will be a decent store of value, but not really. Remember, who has all the gold? All the banks. We don't want the banks to get rich off this, right? Um, JP Morgan has all the silver. Now, silver, on the other hand, the industrial need for silver is absolute. And yes, if people start rushing into silver, silver is the bank killer. So absolutely get your silver before the price goes haywire. All right, hey, question for you guys. How's the sound and the video? Is it working fine? Because I got to use this setup for my Zoom chat later today. Everything good? Are we good? Testing 1, 2. Ooh, sound good. Oh, 5x5. It cracks me up. 5x5. Sounds good. Great. Awesome. I will get back in the swing of things soon. I'm working on very little sleep right now, so I haven't checked. Keep an eye on Europe and Draghi. I hear every time the stock market is not a gauge of what's happening behind the scenes. So just stock market doesn't mean anything anymore. Everybody knows it's rigged. Everybody knows it's manipulated. Doesn't matter. Um, so just keep an eye on what's going on in Europe on the monetary side and what Trump says about the Fed. And now he's going to get the Fed to drop rates. It's a race to the bottom, and whoever gets to the bottom first wins, which is crazy. But that's the way it is, and it's true of all unbacked monetary systems. That's how they end. They die, they're dying off, and then they end abruptly. So we'll find out what happens. I know, crazy. Anyway, I got to get on this other call. Say goodbye to each other. Everybody says, "Give us time to say goodbye to each other." I guess the chats don't go on. You can always chime in the comments as well. And good luck, everybody out there. Keep a close eye on what's going on with Draghi and the EU and JP Morgan derivatives while I'm gone. I'll be back soon. I'll talk to you later.